There is something I've been talking about a fair amount lately. Can you guess what it is? Well, it's here on the table and is the Roxxon short scissors, or the scissors that they have added for their Flex Companion. And also there's the long version for the Roxxon Flex. Now, I've talked about how I added it to my Byberry Felissa, these small multi-tools, and you're probably tired of hearing about it, but I floated the possibility that it might work in the Leatherman Wave, and guess what this is? We'll talk about that a little bit later. But it seemed like the perfect set of tools for the Leatherman Wave was the long set of Roxxon scissors. And so instead of just talking about it, I thought I would take it to the work table and start working on it. Now, one of the first things to know about these scissors is that the pivot hole is much smaller than you need for your Leatherman for your other Leatherman implements, and so I needed to drill them out. Now, some of my favorite drill bits are these right here. These are from a cheap box set of tile bits, and I choose tile because they have carbide on the tip and they actually just chew right through metal, and they've worked great for me in the past. However, this time I had a major issue. I ended up exploding these Roxxon scissors in my bench vise. They ended up flipping apart like 4th of July fireworks, and I even exploded my drill bit, which seems almost impossible, but I did. So I broke almost everything. So it was time to start over. Now, what I learned from that is that these scissors not only are pretty tough, because they even break drill bits, even though these aren't the toughest drill bits out there, but also you do have to be careful when you're modding this tool. So you can see right here where these two metal pieces are actually joined together, and because I didn't have it really properly secured in the bench vise, it flew apart, twisted the spring, and that was totally my fault, not Roxxon's. I was using it the wrong way, and it is never made to fit in a Leatherman, just so you know. But I still wanted to try. So I have several of these smaller scissors, and I thought I would give that a try. So I did put them in the bench vise. I did try to use some different drill bits, try to be a little bit gentler, take a little bit of a slower time, and eventually I was able to get it to fit in the pivot so that it was large enough. Now, the second problem I faced was, how do I get it to lock? Well, I had to take a fair amount of metal off the bottom, and then I sort of got it to lock into place, but then the next problem arose is that it actually went close, so I had to grind some down there, and then when I finally got that ground down, there wasn't enough metal from the onset to actually make it lock against this side right here. So even though it sort of locks into place, you do have a little bit of slippage, but these scissors still work great. And then you can unlock them and they fold right here in the handle. Now, the last problem is, how do you get them back out? Well, you have to be careful. Try not to cut yourself and pull them out like that. Is that ideal? Absolutely not. Will it work? Can you make it doable? Absolutely, you can. Now, why would you choose this over Victorinox? Well, there's one simple reason that comes to my mind. This is the other wave that I have done all kinds of stuff to, and it doesn't even really look like a wave anymore. This right here does use the large Victorinox scissors. However, the spring has a tendency to jump all over the place, and it's not very inspiring. If Victorinox would come up with a better spring, I would use Victorinox scissors all the time for my mods. But unfortunately, yeah, the spring, I really have a hate relationship, love-hate relationship with the spring, because the scissors are great, but the spring really, really, really lets it down. I love Victorinox spring. It's done so much better than Roxxon spring. It's done so much better than Victorinox and Gerber, definitely. I don't like the Gerber NXT spring that snaps all over the place. You have to bend it back. But this one so far has done an excellent job. I found something really neat off of Etsy. This is a stabilizer for your Leatherman bits. Now you can put this piece of plastic into your adapter, and it makes it so that it takes away the instability of your Leatherman bit, and it is held in there very solid. So I promptly decided I needed to try this out on a whole bunch of things that you will never use it for. You can use it for the day camping DL30. Why you would do that, I don't know, because you cannot close the tool then. All right, so maybe you've got a Klein screwdriver and you say, hey, I want to use a Leatherman bit with it. Why would you do that? I have no idea, but it does fit even in a Klein screwdriver. It's, I have to say, a lot better than I thought. I looked at it, and here's a little plastic bit. I think it's maybe $5 to $7. I'll throw a picture up on the screen with the price, but it actually is a lot more useful than I thought, and the Leatherman bit feels so much more solid. I actually like this purchase. Now, if you thought that last piece of gear was strange, take a look at this. This is meant to be the answer for a Leatherman Rebar pocket clip. I've got my doubts. Here is your pocket clip, and then your lanyard attachment slips right between these plastic jaws of sorts, and then there's a lip that it goes over and secures in place. But then, yeah, you've got this. You've got a little pocket clip dance of sorts. You open your tool, try to take out the file, and yeah, the file does open and lock into place, but then you're definitely losing some real estate with that. Now, this tool right here has seen some abuse. I think maybe I got this as a parts tool. But anyway, let's go ahead and try another tool out here. And it will lock into place, so I think all the tools will lock into place with this pocket clip, but I have to say it is a little bit awkward and it would definitely take some getting used to. But I thought I would throw it on here because definitely some of these Leathermans, they would be so much nicer with a pocket clip, and this is an option. Really probably doesn't work that great for me, but maybe it does work for some of you. There are several different colors that this plastic is 3D printed in, so you can choose that, and I will leave links below for all these products. Let me know, what do you think? What is your favorite Leatherman product? And if you found one that I haven't yet reviewed, throw it in the comments below, and maybe sometime in the next coming weeks, I'll buy it and review it.